Hey everybody, this is Cal and welcome to my gaming channel, where we explore the lore of the game and see how it ties into the original universe. Today we're going to be looking at Dawn of War and its expansion Winter Assault. We're going to see how the canonical universe lore matches up from the tabletop game Warhammer 40k to the lore that they've established for this gaming universe version of it. In this first expansion for the Dawn of War series, we are looking at the Imperial Guard, introduced to us as a playable faction and a full-on campaign for them as well. But who are the Imperial Guard? They're basically the first line of defense for the Imperium of Man, for all external threats. In the last game, the Guards seemed to be, kind of like your night shift security guard, just how quickly they seem to be destroyed by the orcs, or you try to go in and save them with your Marine squad, but by the time you get there, they're pretty much wiped out. So in the last game, we didn't really get to do them justice, but in this game we kind of get a better appreciation for who the Guard are and what they offer. Let's talk about who the Imperial Guard are. They're known in High Gothic as the Astra Militarum, also known as the Imperial Guard in the colloquial Low Gothic. Now, this is the largest fighting force in the universe. I'm talking about massive numbers. That is why they're known as the Hammer of the Emperor, because what they do when they fight against an enemy is they overwhelm with sheer numbers, while in parallel bombarding them with intense high-range artillery pieces as well at the same time, which is kind of their main go-to strategy. Now, the uniform that you see on this current guard is the correct uniform for the Kaidians, which are featured in this particular expansion. However, because the Kaidan branch of the Astra Militarum is so successful and considered the epitome of what the Guard could be, most other planetary Imperial Guard copy their uniform with various exceptions of certain specific regiments. So we're going to look at specifically at the 412th Kaidan Guard. That's who was introduced during this expansion, Winter Assault, and what you have to understand is they were not in existence before for the tabletop canon. They were introduced as this game was created, as the featured regiment for the Imperial Guard. Now, it's significant that they use a Kaidan Guard regiment in general, because the simple fact is that the regiments from the planet Cadia are the soldiers of renown. They are the model soldier, the model army. This is what all Guard regiments aspire to, which is why if you look at the tabletop game and you might Google this, you might see the same common color scheme, and that's because they adopted the Kaidan color scheme in order to kind of mimic that. But again, because there's such high shelf, not everyone can compare to the Kaidan Guard. They are who they are for a reason, and the reason for that is because their planet, Cadia, sits in front, basically, of what's called the Eye of Terror, within the narrow corridor of space called the Kaidan Gate. And because of that, their planet is host to a number of chaos incursions, which lead to raging battles fought across, that entire area of space and on the planet as well. So these are battle-hardened individuals. Their leaders are battle-hardened. They've seen a lot of war and destruction and devastation in their time. They're used to it. They're not going to waver. They're just going to be that Hammer of the Emperor and just keep pounding the enemy with artillery and manpower until the enemy is destroyed. So that's basically who we're dealing with when it comes to the Imperial Guard. And definitely in my mind, if this doesn't excite you about the Guard, I don't know what will. But these guys are badasses. They definitely excite me. I am ready to play as the Imperial Guard. These are the guys that you want fighting for the Imperium of Man. So we're going to take a cutscene from the game that kind of describes a little bit more deeper the motivations of why they're there and what they're going to do.
Yes. Victory in the making for our glorious Emperor.
I see no victory here. I see but one truth, and that truth is war. This world would not even warrant our attention were it not for our prize.
Yes, the Titan Dominatus. Imagine. A great war machine forged in the volcanic foundries of Mars.
The Titan fell in the defense of this world. And the Emperor has entrusted the Kaidan 412th Regiment of the Imperial Guard to retrieve it. The Titan lies in the ruins of Lorne V's principal city, Talorn. But one thing at a time. We must take the Talorn defense fortress if we hope to defeat the forces of chaos firmly entrenched upon this world. Spread word to the men. Tell them we win this day, or we die trying. There is no retreat!
So off the bat, two things. One, we have this main cause for them being there, and that is Titan Dominatus, which is a massive fighting mechanical fortress. I say again, a mechanical fortress. Think Hal's Moving Castle, but it's gonna mess you up, and it's not gonna say sorry in a cutesy anime kind of way. So that's what they're fighting for, because having one of these Titans, these massive war machines, which is what Titans are, is an assured victory almost in any campaign. So that's the motivation for them being there. Recovering this lost device, which is of extreme importance to the armory of the Imperium. The other thing they mentioned is the Forge Worlds of Mars. So let's get into that real quick. The reason why the Commissar makes such note of a device made from the Forge Worlds of Mars is because it's a simple fact that the Forge Worlds of Mars, for the Imperium and the Cult Mechanicus who runs Mars, this is the most holy and the most prolific producing manufacturing factories in the entire Imperium of all of its planets. Now again, it's even more significant because if something comes from Mars, it has that level of kind of like craftsmanship that you would expect with like a fairly finely designed Swiss watch. So this is the best of the best. So again, all Titans are sought after, but even more so something specific from Mars itself has that higher level of caliber. So that's why it's even more significant, because you know it's that much better than all that could be possibly present or they could go after. So again, all these devices are even more sought after, besides the fact that they're so powerful, is because us as humans don't have the ability or the technological capability to reproduce these machines. In fact, I should say almost all the machines cannot be properly reproduced. We just maintain them. And through acquired schematics from the past, we're able to rebuild to a certain point some of these war machines, but nothing like on the scale of a Titan. Most certainly not. So we just maintain them. So if we could resurrect from the dead, from being recovered, this is a huge boon for the Imperium. So that brings us to the end of the video. Now I hope after viewing this and listening to what I have to say, you can kind of frame why the Imperial Guard are significant to come at this particular juncture, and why specifically the Kaidan 412th are significant, and hopefully it kind of gives you a better overall picture of the Warhammer universe and how much fun this universe, this world, this place can be, and how good the games could be. Now again, I'm not trying to bring down the games in any way. I had a lot of fun with them, but because they didn't try to really delve a little bit deeper into the lore and try to understand the factions better, I think the campaigns aren't as robust as they could be. Dawn of War 1 and then this expansion, Winter Assault, a very linear campaign. You just kind of go in a straight line. You don't really choose your kind of options, whether to make a choice to go left or right, or to win this campaign gets you this campaign, but if you lose, you get this alternate campaign or alternate ending. So this is still, you know, again, early 2000s. We're not even there yet with games, really. A lot aren't even doing that in general, even in RPG. So I hope that, you know, the game itself and the series won't go away after Dawn of War 3 with that unfortunate debacle that was Dawn of War 3. Again, there's a lot of really cool lore, there's a lot of cool art, a lot of cool stuff going on with this game, and it could easily come back. I really wish Creative Assembly took the reins of Warhammer 3 because I did an amazing job with Halo Wars as a strategy game. I know they got a lot going on with Total War Warhammer, which is a phenomenal game. I love it. I enjoy it. I can't wait for the expansions that are coming out for 2. I have 1 and 2, and all the DLC for 1. Gonna get all the DLC for 2. So again, a lot of missed opportunities by not working closer with Games Workshop and looking deeper into the lore, understanding what makes a faction unique, and bringing some of those elements to the campaign to make it more robust. But again, you know, this was kind of an unsure franchise, so I think after people looking back can appreciate for what it is, I know a lot of people do, and hopefully some new people will come into the game series and thus kind of build up more chatter, more fan base, and then we can maybe get the Dawn of War strategy game we all, not the ones we deserve, but the ones we need, especially after 3. So again, my name is Cal, guys. I want you to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys with my next video.